Hi, I'm Ruth Coleman. I'm the Director of State Parks. I'm last. I know we're cold. On behalf of Governor Schwarzenegger, I want to thank all of you for coming out. This is an amazing day, but in some ways it's so fitting because think of all the challenges that are the core of the stories that we're telling here. Angel Island is a very, very special place. It's one of our historic sites. We have 40 historic sites at state parks. And these are the places where we tell the stories of what happened in California. And we need to be honest about it. If we're not truthful about our history, we can't learn from it. The issue of immigration continues to rage today in the state of California. It's highly controversial, and it's all about who belongs and who doesn't belong. And if we don't tell the honest story at Angel Island, we're not going to be able to inform ourselves, inform our children, inform the rest of the nation on what it means to function as a democracy. And so the stories that we're telling here today and the way we're starting to emphasize in our partnership with Ellis Island, I think will help keep this park alive and make it completely relevant to us today and into the future and for the hundreds of thousands of kids that are going to come in the future. These are stories of courage, not just the courage of the immigrants, but there's also for state parks a special story of courage of Alexander Weiss. He had the guts when he flashed the flashlight and he saw all of these carvings on a building. The reason he was going through was they were going to be demolishing it. We were going to burn it down because we wanted to build a campground here. We kind of hadn't gotten religion yet on historic preservation, at least not enough back in the 70s. So he flashes his flashlight and he sees these carvings. And so then he tells his management. Now I would like to think as a manager that the response would have been, oh my goodness, we must preserve it. But I'm sorry to say that wasn't quite what he got. It was more like, oh, well, we have a master plan. It's coming down. But yeah, go ahead and take photographs. And yeah, you can bring some people through to look at it. So he did. I mean, that took guts. He brought some people in from the Asian Studies program at the Cal State. And there were students who came and saw the poems, and their parents had come through Angel Island. And they were discovering stories that they didn't know about their parents because that experience was so painful, the parents hadn't shared it with them. And so after a lot of people started coming through, they started independently agitating to save this building. So again, I'd like to say my institution would have proudly said, no, we're going to save it, but in fact, it was external pressure that caused us to save it. So to me personally, as a director, I want to learn from this. I want my institution to learn from this story about courage and the ability to reverse course when you need to. Because we're going to find special places in the future which we will discover during archaeology, and we need to then stop and preserve it. So today is a major milestone in this 40-year journey of saving a building we were going to burn. But as you've heard, we're not done. We have all of these partners we've been working with. And you've heard a lot of thank yous, so I'm not going to repeat all of the thank yous that we've all said, but I do have to say that this special partnership we have with the Angel Immigration Foundation is so vital to us to move forward on the vision that you've heard of preserving that hospital and moving forward. And we're in really tough times right now. We all know it. It feels like our economy's in free fall. The legislature didn't pass the budget last night. By one vote, it failed. So our bond funds are not thawed yet. They're still frozen. The governor's desperately trying to get the legislature to pass a budget so that California can move forward, and we're not there yet. And so to some extent, a lot of us feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And I tell my staff, you know, you're right. I don't think there is light at the end of the tunnel, so let's stop looking for it. Instead, imagine yourself holding a candle and you're creating light around you. And that's how we're going to move forward on this project. Every one of us needs to hold our own light and illuminate what you can control in your own world. Don't spend all your energy looking for light at the end of the tunnel. That's the wrong metaphor. Think of the light that you can shine yourself, and together we can still make this place come alive again. It's going to draw thousands of people. We're going to have a hard time coping with all those visitors because we have furloughs, we have budget cuts, but we have partners, we have volunteers. We have our partners in the private sector. John Colbert is here with the California Parks Company. They do the concessions. Together, we can still make this happen. We're not done with California. We're not finished. There are things to do. There are tourists who still want to come visit. So we can't give up. This is a tough day. It's a dark, gloomy day, and yet think of the amazing accomplishments that we've made through many, many tough times before that. So on behalf of the department, on behalf of all the people who have helped make this happen, it's just my honor to be the one who gets to stand up here to cut the ribbon. I am the least of the players in this whole journey. I just get to have the glory of being able to cut the ribbon. But the honor is all yours. And so every one of you in this room really needs to say, I did it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So thank you for coming. Try to stay as dry as you can, and let's go look.